I'm Real Generic G-Man, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 16 of Volume 4. And we've got yet another tape to try out. This is another one of these, what's so-called professional programs, but they're all games. I love the way that somebody tried to hide this on the shelf. Can you imagine the shelf back in the day? And there's the shelf. It was all hidden away. Professional programs. No, Mum, they're all programs I've written along the way. They're not, there's no games on here. I only play professional programs. Right, so anyway, professional programs. I quite like this one. So it's another John Menzies tape. I love the grid pattern on these. The sort of that look. It does really strike me. It really does sort of feel of John Menzies. I do love that kind of look, and made in England. You know, designed and manufactured, but in the UK for John Menzies. So there we go. Designed and manufactured in the UK for John Menzies. So on the front of this, apparently, and we'll put it in the drive shortly, we've got Alchemist, which is an Imagine game. I think one of the early ones. I can't remember much about it. I think you can turn to an eagle, can't you? Not sure why you turn to an eagle, but you turn to an eagle. I'm sure you do. Froggy from DSL Software. Never heard of that particular game. Probably play it and realise it's one I've played before. Then we've got the Orb, which is there, Orb, by Computer Rentals, or CRL. The Orb. Is that one I know? I don't even know if it is, to be honest with you. We'll find out. And then Mr. Wimpy. Now, I kind of picked it up for Mr. Wimpy for a number of reasons. One of which is that today I went to a comic convention, and I got a few things. So I want to show you those few things that I got. I didn't get a lot, but I went to a comic convention and got a couple of things. I'm a bit of a sucker for what I think is a bargain when it comes to Star Wars figures. And we've got this. Look at this. I believe, if I'm correct, this would be technically I know it's a remake and it's a modern day one, but technically that, he says going up and down, is Boba Fett in his original outfit that he wore in the cartoon, obviously Droids. But I think this is the first appearance of Boba Fett. So this is his first outfit. This is the first time we saw that Mandalorian outfit, and we all know now that Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian. And I couldn't help myself. It was just so nice. I was like, I've got to have that. And there's only two more in the range there, if you can see in the top corner. But it's a Lucas 50th film. Unfortunately, it's Disney. Let's put a finger over that. We don't want that. But yeah, I kind of like that. I'm a bit of a sucker for that. So that wasn't very expensive actually either, which is quite surprised me that it wasn't so expensive. It wasn't much more than about the usual sort of price for a Star Wars figure if you buy them normally. So I kind of saw that and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to have that. That'll look nice on the shelf. So I've got that. That's gonna look really nice, especially on the card. And then I got one other figure, because I didn't spend a fortune. I only spent a little bit, but I got one other figure, and I'm because I'm a sucker for it. I got an Ahsoka Tano, and that was a tenner, and I was quite pleased with that. So I mean, that one being, the other one being 14 quid, this one being 10 quid. I was really delighted with that, because I'm a bit of a Ahsoka Tano fan, and this will be the early days of Ahsoka Tano, when she's sort of still got the green lightsabers rather than the white ones that she has later, which are a Sith lightsaber. So that's really kind of cool. But I also have to show you something else. This is really, really cool. So Daryl, who's a long time follower of the channel, sent through some more games for me. He's a wonderful person. He's a really nice guy. And he sent me these ones. Look at this. We got Bouncing Bertie and Eskimo Capers, another double pack. And then I think he's finishing off all the K-Tel games for me, because he sent me one the other week. But we've got another one, which is Alien Swarm and Arena, 16K Spectrum games. K-Tel. Nobody says anything. Nobody says anything modern, sort of, like the 80s, like the word K-Tel. Yeah, so he sent those through. So I think that's really nice of him. I think it's really kind. So we'll do some videos on them at some point as well. That'll be really good. But without further ado, I'm going to get this into a tape drive. Okay, so the tape is in the drive, so we're going to go down to our favourite, which is Basic and Load Dit, or Load speech marks. So we'll put that in. There we go. I'll push the button. So this should be Alchemist. This is a game by there's a number of copies of this out there. And maybe somebody can clarify in the comments, because I'm not entirely sure myself what there is. There's like a gold copy of it. There's like a yellow copy of it. I believe there's one that looks like it's just been printed in black and white. Is that right? Is that the first run they did was in black and white? And then you have a gold tape, and then you can have another coloured tape as well that goes with it, but the gold one's a gold one. I don't know, there's lots of variations on this one. It's like they re-released it like loads and loads and loads and loads of times. I had it, I think it was on a special tape back in the day. I have it somewhere in here. I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's here somewhere. But I have it somewhere in here. But I can't remember. I can't remember what we're doing. I think we're trying to collect things again. I think the one I really prefer was the one on the software tape, which was that was sorcery, wasn't it? It's more sorcerers and whatever else. Well, we seem to have lost these things though, don't we? I mean, I was thinking about this just as I was putting this on. See, this alchemist here is obviously he's mixing herbs and spices and herbs and spices and paprika and things like that, and then cooks you a lovely Sunday dinner. But he's obviously a herb mixing specialist. And nowadays you'd call him a wizard. I think they put him into the wizard category. This would be like the wizard rather than the... I mean, everything would be a wizard, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be a sorcerer. I mean, I don't know what the difference between these things are, but we've got alchemists, sorcerers, and wizards, obviously. And I guess you've got warlocks as well, but aren't they the opposite of a witch? I think that's the correct terminology. You've got witches and warlocks. Yeah. I don't know, it's really confusing, isn't it? But I think we've blended them all into wizard nowadays. Anybody that sort of does this isn't a sorcerer anymore, they're a wizard. I blame Harry Potter for all this. He kind of changed us all into wizards, didn't they? You're a wizard, Harry, said Dumbledore. Sadly, Mr. Robbie Coltrane passed away recently, R.I.P. I remember Robbie Coltrane. I remember him in... Comic Strip Presents along with Dawn French, Jennifer Saunders, Adrian Edmondson. I don't think Rick Mail did them, did he? Maybe wrong on that, but Adrian Edmondson was definitely in them. I remember him being in it. I remember Robbie Coltrane being in those Comic Strip Presents, and it was a great comedian. I loved him as a comedian, and I saw a lovely interview with him about with the stuntman who played his stunt double in Harry Potter, of all things. And apparently the kids had to go to school in the morning, and Robbie Coltrane, and they'd got this set up for the next thing, and they said, right, we're going to have to cut now, we're going to have to wait until they've been to school, because the kids have to go to school. And Robbie Coltrane apparently had shouted at the top of his voice, and obviously top of his voice, some rude expletives saying, these guys are all going to be millionaires, they'll never have to work again. And he was right. So Robbie Coltrane stating the truth there as they were. They don't need to go to school. They're all going to be millionaires, and he was absolutely right with that. So lovely, Robbie Coltrane. I was sidestepping there with Harry Potter from the wizards and warlock and whatever else is, because you got wizards and things like that in Dungeons and Dragons. It's interesting though, because as I said, I've just been to a Comic-Con in my local hometown, and my wife bought us wristbands earlier, and outside there's the obligatory Imperial soldiers, stormtroopers, Darth Vader, the Boba Fett, the Mandalorian was there. Who else was there? There was a Daredevil. Somebody set up as the new Daredevil. Ghostbusters. At one point they drove the trap into me to see if they could catch me, which is quite funny, really. And then the sort of there's that kind of then the lots of manga things that my daughter knew loads of things about. It's like really impressed by everybody's outfits and all this kind of stuff. She was those ones who were dressed up in sort of manga outfits, which effectively is funny coloured hair and short skirts. It seems that defines manga, I believe. I know. I in the 90s I was a collector of it, but it was more Fist of the North Star and things like that for me. So and I didn't really collect the comics. I really watched the movies, the manga movies that came out. You know, Akira being a big one. Akira, Fist of the North Star. Those are the only two I remember. There was a Titans one as well that was there, but I never really watched that. So anyway, here we are. The Alchemist. It is loaded by Ian Weatherburn. Copyright program audio and visual 1983 Imagine Software. Press the key to begin. I'm going to press a key. I want one for keyboard. This is going to be a mistake. I can tell this is. That's left and right. There's my zappy thing. And then that's... How do I turn into the... That was quit. Q's quit. I don't know how we turn into the bird thing, but there's food. Oh, there we go. Turn at the bird. Ah, bird. Where's the jump then? So if I turn to the bird, where's the jump button? There must be a jump button. So turn to the bird. We'll turn it back into the man because he can walk upstairs, but birds can't apparently. There must be a button for flying. Where's the flying? Ah, there we go. Bird flap. Zap. Right, I think I've got it. Right. So bird change. Flap up here, and we'll fly up here. Now, I'm not sure what we're meant to do in this game. I always quite liked it, though, because it was, on the scale of things, for a Spectrum game, it was kind of, it's not horrendous, it's upsetting, if that makes sense. It's not, pick up, what's the pick up button? No, don't, shoot him. Got no spell energy left. How do I pick up the key? I want to pick up a key. I've quit the game by mistake. I quit the game. Right. You'd think it'd make a noise when I push the put the button for pick up. What, can we go in there? Oh yeah. I can turn to the bird. Fly up these stairs. Takes a lot of spell energy to change backwards and forwards, though, so you really don't want to be messing around changing backwards and forwards, look, if you can help it. I always like the graphics, but I like the fact that it was quite chilled out in what you were doing. Definitely one you'd map, if that makes sense. You would map this one, and I'm just busily wasting energy here, turning backwards and forwards into the bird thing. The bird thing. Think it's a hawk. It's got a very curved beak. But yeah, I quite appreciated it because you could spend a lot of time sort of flying around as the bird. I think you've got to create spells. I think that's the thing. I've got this. What's that? Oh, I meant to shoot him. Oh, I can't shoot him. Oh, yes, you can. I don't know how to pick things up. That's the big problem. What's the button to pick things up? I'm going to go down this way. Did this appear on anything else? Did it appear on the Commodore 64 and the Amstrad CPC? I don't remember it on those. But I just say, the one thing I appreciate about this game is it gave me a chance to kind of have a little bit of move around in games, because Spectrum games and of course 8-bit games of the day were notoriously difficult. So you quite often ended up in serious trouble with the game that you were playing. But this is quite nice. There's a ring to pick up. Oh, and there's a sword. And there's a bug. But yeah, this gave you the ability to roam around freely. Not sure how I pick anything up in it, but I can certainly roam around freely. Let's roam down here. I'm going to assume I need to be this thing. No. They're alternative buttons. Ah! Found it. Why is W pick up? But anyway, I've got W. I don't know what it does, though, so I've got a W for a pickup. So I picked something up there. There's a bat. Cool looking bat. So impressive, though, the graphics that you got back in the day. Just so very, very impressive. I'm guessing you take them back to your cauldron or something similar. Let's press W on here. W. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to press W on the bottom here. There we go. I can't put... Was there a button for spells? Ah, there is. A restore spell. Did I cast it? This is a big question. No, I don't think I cast it, and I think I'm a bit stuck being... Stamina's gone back up. Your spell thing goes up as you go. I've got a restore spell now.
So the opposite W and E. E is pick up. The alternate buttons there. Agag. Getting attacked by a sword. There's a spell there as well, look. If I can turn back, I wonder if I can cast the spell that I've got. My energy's going up. Have I got enough energy for it? I'll wait and see if I've got enough energy. Look at that. Bit of colour clash going on. Dunk! Dunk! Pretty good, though, for colour clash. It's not bad at all. That ant thing at the bottom, though, is a bit strange. It reminds me of, if you've watched the new Dune movie, it reminds me of the creature in the new Dune movie that's in Baron Harkonnen's chambers. Sort of this skull-like weird creature. Something strange. So... One thing that was, so at the Comic-Con, there was obviously, you get the usual mixture of, I guess you call them B-list celebrities, don't you? So, oh, it gave me more stamina. Did it? Yes, it did. The restore spell gave me more stamina. I don't know how you pick... Oh, there's another spell there, look. Oh, I don't know. We'll move on. We'll go at Froggy because I can manage that. So, yeah, usual selection of sort of, I would call, relative B-list celebrities. Apart from one, there was the chap that played, who was inside R2-D2. What's he called? V? Something V is Richard something or other? Anyways, I'm not that good about people who in those kind of things. But the one that really struck me, the one I really was quite surprised to see and quite liked seeing was Christopher Ryan. And if you know who Christopher Ryan is, Christopher Ryan was Mike in The Young Ones and Dave Spud in the Bottom series that with Rick Mayall, and of course, and then he was some kind of creature in Doctor Who. But I'm not really bothered about that. I'm more interested in the fact that he was Mike in Young Ones. I mean, that was man. And to be fair, he looked very much like he did back in 30 plus years ago, except for the fact his hair's probably got a bit greyer. Seemed a very pleasant gentleman from there. I didn't have to be fair. I'm not a celebrity personage, if that makes sense. I don't do celebrities very well. I'm not, people go to me, oh, did you see a celebrity so-and-so? And I'm like, no. I met a few celebrities during the job that I previously worked in. We had quite a lot of celebrities on the books, and I was the perfect person to send because I am so not that bothered. I treat everybody the same. So I met all kinds of motorsports people that I'm never really interested, never really bothered, not very excited. So I'm the worst person in the world. I've met many a celebrity and not really taken much notice. Really, just someone said hello, how are you? Oh, I've seen you on the telly or whatever else it is, and that's basically been about the size of it. I'm not, and then got on with the job normally. So I'm not the best person in the world. But anyway, Christopher Ryan was there. The other one was the Lightning from Gladiator. And I said this to my friends, and they said they preferred Jet. And I'm like, well, you're gonna have to settle because Lightning's there. So she's looking very good, actually. I think she's in her 50s as well. She looked good for her 50s. Very good indeed. Anyway, let's push the S button to start. Good old Frogger, copied from the arcade game. I don't know who created the arcade game. Was it Midway? I get the feeling it was Midway. So here we go. One of these, one of those, and then I'm going to wait till I get all the way to the end of that one, and I'm going to plonk into that last frog hole. There we go, frog in. That's it. This is Frogger. This is the game, the name of the game. I'll go all the way along here if I can. What happened? Did they sink? Ran out of time. Damn, run over. It's not a bad version, actually, Froggy. I'm quite impressed by this one. I think this one's I don't think this one's a cheap one, actually, by CRL. I think this one's quite an expensive one, this CRL Froggy. I think it's CRL, isn't it? Did we said that before? No, it wasn't. DJH Software. Either way, this isn't a bad version of Frogger. I'll admit, this has got all of the various bells and whistles. It wasn't like Frogger that we got the other week, which was just literally across the road. I'm going to assume that was a time refresh is terrible. They really want you to make your mind up and get straight across the river as soon as possible. That's pretty good though. I quite like that version. Do 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 do. The old death march there. Use your keys. Yes, I will. And then press enter to store. I love playing these games. It's a lot of fun. Perfect. Yeah, DJL version of it. Froggy rather than Frogger. I quite like that one though. I'm quite impressed by that one. Let's have one more go. We'll see if we can do a few more across the river. I do like Frogger. I think Frogger's one of those games, and it's a little handheld sort of. Was it by Grandstand? It would be, which would be obviously a reskin of somebody else's. I always thought it was a pretty good game that you were getting out of for your money, if that makes sense. So we've got to be fairly quick here with our decision making. I've got to be fairly quick with what we want to do here. So, and then onto this one quickly. Time running out. I quite like the time not getting the full sort of length that you might normally have. Oh damn! Jumped onto them when they were sinking. Those are turtles, by the way. They obviously submerge occasionally. I'll jump on this one. There we go, got another one. It's pretty good. Simple game, simple idea. Bit of avoiding and tactics as you go across. Jumping backwards and forwards. Brilliant little game. There we go, straight into that one. Now we've got the last one. See if we can make it within the time. And jump on here, jump on here. And the last one, we're in. No, we're not. You idiot! You failed. I can't believe I failed that. I thought it was there. I thought it was done. I'm on the last log here. Let's jump for it. And when you get there, we're in. Bonus. There's no place like home or something similar. I don't think I can make this any harder, realistically. Pretty good though. What a good version this is. I'll admit. Oh, damn! Got run over, backed out of the way of the fast cars in the middle lane, and got run over by the other ones. The old death march. Right. Okay. Let's go on. Let's see what else we've got on here. Quite like that. Yeah, I was when I was at this Comic-Con today, as though obviously it's seen Lightning, and there was Christopher Ryan, and there was a couple of other ones. I felt very sorry for. There was a guy, and I don't know what he was from, and he's just sat there on his own, and like nobody had any interest in him. He was just like sat, and he'd obviously been in something really important once upon a time, but I feel he was very much the extras. I mean, I remember once I went to one Comic-Con, there was, I think he was like he was in Star Wars. Oh, somebody's record the music on here. Do 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 do. Somebody's record the music, probably by mistake. Anyway, but he was in Star Wars, and he was such a side character. He really was. He wasn't he was honestly he was in it for like 3 seconds or something similar. He was blown up or something. It was like an X-wing pilot of some sort. And he really wasn't in it long, and I just felt really sorry for this poor guy. He was like sat on his own, nobody coming over to see him, nobody got any interest in him. Not somebody who wanted to see. I mean, the thing with Christopher Ryan, he's been in so many things. You'd want to go and see Christopher Ryan. Lightning, well, she's Lightning, isn't she? So if you're a man of my age, when you were a teenager, she was the lady who was thrusting herself all over the screen and bouncing around and using sellotape to keep her leotard from popping off. I heard that on the BBC, actually. She was on the BBC talking about the new Gladiators not that long ago. And apparently they used double-sided sticky tape on their leotards to stop their parts to being exposed. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions about the hair content that was involved in that. They had to. Everybody did. The men did as well. They had to use sticky tape. So it was double-sided sticky tape around their thighs and their legs, and they then glued on their effectively glued on their underwear. That must have been a very difficult removal at the end of the session. Not only is it hot and sweaty, but it's glued on too. I can't imagine anything worse, realistically. I mean, obviously, I would have filled in as the wardrobe person during that process, but that was I probably wouldn't have to be paid for that either. No, I'm kidding. That's wrong. Not allowed to say things like that nowadays. Of course, yeah. It's humour. I mean, the thing is, I don't think you could do the young ones now, based on the way that the movie's going. I know there's a big change coming. There's a huge ripple. Warner Brothers have I've realised that their movie and viewings have gone down since they stopped doing good stories, or doing stories that were good, but then shoehorning current requirements into them. So they've been shoehorning it all in, and then obviously damaging the integrity of the original story. So now they've gone back to they're going to go back to original stories. You'll see a change. You'll see a sea of change coming, and it's definitely coming. There won't be any more shoehorning things in. They will go back to good stories, because, funnily enough, a damn good story sells. So, and that's all I'm talking about. I'm talking about anything else other than the fact that I like a damn good story. I mean, there's nothing better than a damn good story. Take some of the big hitters of this year, movie-wise. I mean, Maverick is Top Gun Maverick is unequivocally an action movie, high-octane action movie, and and that's it. It doesn't do anything or try and be anything else other than a high-octane action movie. That's all it wants to be. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. June, well, I think it was last year possibly, but June, the release. First off, you've got a very strong book to go from. You've got the very strong books to go from in the first place. And then you've got the movie that they made. I really liked the movie. I think it was really strong. I know that some people didn't like the sweeping deserts, but I think it was a very good, strong story. There wasn't anything shoehorned into it for any particular reason. There wasn't a lot of fan baiting going on with that one either. It just did well at the box office. And that's the thing with with movies. You want a good story. That's all we want. When you go to the pictures, you go for escapism, don't you? You don't go to the pictures and go, right, I want to live in my own world again, realistically. I want to go escape to something nice. Anyway, the Crystal Orb. That's what it's called, the Crystal Orb. I'd like instructions, but first I'm going to drink a bit of coffee. So I've got coffee. What have you got? Have you got a beverage? Have you got a drink? Have you got one? I've got one. Oh, that's a good cup of coffee. I'm really liking that. That's a really nice good cup of coffee. I forgot to tell you. Did I tell you why I want to do this one? Because of the Wimpy. Because I went for some fast food after our Comic-Con. My missus stumped up for the expense of a bit of fast food. So I had a burger. So I was like, I've got to play Mr. Wimpy. We've got a burger. But did you see the big box of stuff I got? I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, there's a video on it. I got a big box of stuff recently. A big load of crap, as the person described it. And it's excellent. You have chosen to enter the strange land in which you have only gained access through your computer. Ooh. It's like what's the game? Lawnmower Man. That's what it is. That's not game. That's Lawnmower Man. In this land, mind power, magic spells, and evil creatures have turned a once fair country into a barren wilderness of fear and pestilence. It's like living under a Tory government. No, that was far too political, but pretty much true, mind power, magic spells, and evil creatures. That could be. Anyway, its fearsome ruler is Grisor of the Dread. The Dread. He's the Dread. He has 2 castles on the lake island in the middle of the purple swamps. Purple swamps. Oh, it's bad when you got purple swamps. I mean, that's really bad. Right, okay. Previous ruler was Benefax, the Just. And from the 2 temples on the lake's island within the forest, he protected his country from the evil Grisor by using the magic power of the crystal orb mounted on a golden base inserted into 2 platinum studs. Right. Yes. Grisor spy tricked Benefax into removing the orb from its base, and Grisor used the evil power to spirit the orb, the base and studs away to separate hiding locations within from which they have never been recovered. Since then, Benefax has grown old and weak, and in a safe castle inside of the border. Right. Grisor has left to find a bride, and Benefax seeks to champion to find the orb and return to his land to former glory while Grisor is absent. So Grisor's gone off looking for a bird. Lightning's available. She's at a Comic-Con, if you know this. Right. He knows that the orb is hidden in one of the temples, and the base is hidden in one of the castles, and the studs are hidden in the upper levels of the Red Tower. Right. I'm getting a lot of information here. We're getting a lot of information. Although everything is in the land has been rendered invisible, he will use his remaining powers to make as many creatures and treasures visible as he can. Right. He will also make a safe path through the land and endow the champion with professional powers of his own choice. Professional powers. Right. Can I be a barista? A barista. Okay. If you become the champion, you should know what your tasks are as follows. Kill as many as creatures as you can. Just murder everything. Find as much treasure as you can. Find the base, the studs, and the orb. In that order. And return them to the treasure, to the safe castle, and release the power to combat evil. Release the evil. Okay, your status will be judged from the amount of treasure you find together with the experience you gain from fighting creatures. You will need a status of at least 15 to find the orb, and even then your chances of finding it are only improved by destroying a complete race of creatures. Oh my god, genocide is on the cards. Let's press enter to continue. Oh my goodness, this is going to be difficult. I think I can get that. North, south, east, west. Right, okay. I think I've got that. Right. Movement. Combat. A to attack. H to retreat. H to strike the head. B for the body. L for the limbs. Head, body, limbs. Right, okay. Attack and retreat. Press S for a spell. 1, 2, and 3. Wow, there's a lot of reading here. You should choose to avoid visible creatures. Right, okay. Safe castle. Status with the E button. I want to play. Chooseth thy name. Demon. What am I going to be? A magician, a philosopher, adventurer, a mercenary. I'm sure that's the wrong spelling of mercenary, you know. And mystic. I'm going to be a philosopher because I'm going to bore them to death with the theory of life and metaphysics. Demon the philosopher. Okay, that's the mountain. There's a river. I'm assuming that's the red one over there. Right, okay, which direction do I want to go? I want to go 3. Uh-oh. Attack. Oh, 3. You met an evil storm fiend. Too slow. Creature attacks. Strikes your short sword arm. Saved by your armor. Okay. Am I meant to be pressing A to attack? Oh, maybe press H for head. B for body. You hit but no damage. This is going very well. You've got to press the button at a time. Hang on. It's wounded. I think it's dead. It's not dead. It's smashing me to pieces here. L for limb. It's wounded. And staggering. Me after a weekend out. Wounded and staggering. Saved by my armour. Come on. Hit him. Oh, I'm going to give him some body hits. This is the slowest fight in the universe. I get the feeling this is a basic game, actually. Oh, killed him. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 5. I'm going to go straight down. I'm going to go 4. 4. 4. 3. Whatever this is. I'm in a swamp. The purple swamp. There's a lot of swamp. I wasn't sure what was going into there. I should have realised it was the purple swamp. You don't stand much chance against a swamp that full, do I? I'm actually bored now watching it. Come on, swamp. There's a swamp action going. Okay. I want to go... Search on. Where's my experience anyway? Experience 12. I can't go that way. North. North. Oh, northeast to avoid it. Beware, you met an evil black goblin. Black gobbler, sorry. I'm going to hit it, Ned. Sustained damage. Sustained damage, peoples. I've got a black gobbler to deal with. It's a crazed turkey. It's wounded and staggering. Hit that black gobbler. Wounded and dying. Which direction? Can I? I can cross the water. I'm going to cross the water and hit that thing there. You beware, slime lizard. Attack. Head. I kind of like the timing thing where you have to push the button. It's a little bit more interactive with the button presses for actually doing something. Quite like that. Quite like that little feature of it. Hurls a lightning bolt at you. I should do S for a spell. See if I can do a spell. I've got to press S for a spell. You sustain damage. Yeah, I know. The creature staggers, but recovers with a snarl. I've got a sleep spell. Spell 2. It's beyond you. Yeah, okay, I get that. Head. It hesitates but unsure. I love the way that Philosopher's first spell, by the way, is sleep. I literally sat down and read some Nietzsche to it. That was it. Fights are so long-winded. I'll press E for my overall rating. Your status is 1. You have 0 studs. Okay, 3. Can I enter this way? Okay. I'm trying to work out which way I need to push now. Is it 7? Well, I'm into the castle. The red, a red castle in there. This is where the guy's been hiding all this time. It's actually not too bad. I think if I wasn't, just sort of the way that the what's on the table works, we don't normally have time for everything to play the right way through. We just have a chance to do it. But I kind of, in a strange sort of way, I kind of appreciate this one. I kind of appreciate the effort that's been put to it. Met some evil spell ogre instead of a smell ogre. It's attacking me. Oh, coffee is good. Love coffee. I kind of like this. I say as I say if it wasn't what's on the tape, I think I'd spend some time physically playing this. It has a certain charm that kind of that fits with my love of RPGs. I really do like a good RPG. It's a funny thing because I think of games like Elite. I think of Elite as an RPG. Elite is probably not what you would call your traditional RPG, but I definitely think of it as that because you have your spaceship and you upgrade your spaceship as you go along. There's your leveling up and your stats. Your cash goes up and there's your experience along the way. And then you've got the sort of loads and cargoes you're doing and the places you've explored. It's definitely an RPG. It's not just a space sort of explorer combat type thing. It's an RPG. Every time you level up your ship, you're leveling up your character because that's effectively what you do. So it kind of fits with me. I know this is definitely an RPG in its nature, but I also think of games like my Euro Truck Simulator that's on my channel here. I think of that as an RPG as well. You're going, oh, well, but he's driving loads from point A to point B. No, because you generate cash, you build, you expand your empire, and you build your garages, and you build up your fleet, and you build your trucks, and you modify your trucks, and you add little add-ons to them. Because it's all limited by the experience or the money in the case of this. So I kind of think of it as that. It's maybe a lighter version, an action RPG in the scale of things, not a straightforward sort of RPG, but definitely a role-playing adventure game, without a doubt. Right, okay. North. Hoard of gold. I'll take the hoard of gold. I'm going to go in the room at the bottom here. You met evil, a melting wraith. Melting wraith. Attack H. It strikes home. I think I'm almost dead here, you know. I think I'm in bad shape here. I don't think I'm going to be quite beat Greisel's castle and do it. You notice he left the door open when he went out looking for brides. I suppose he didn't expect anybody to break in and attempt to steal his hoard, or his hoard of gold. Your strike has failed. I am definitely getting pounded here by this creature. I am now tempted to find out though whether or not it's what I think it is, which I think it's going to be a basic game. I think this is the nature of the thing. So let's press the button to. Yes, it is. Oh, of course the paper's the wrong colour, so we can't see the code. But yeah, basic game. So you could probably have, actually loaded that up for no problem at all. Right, let's go for the last one. Let's go for the Mr. Wimpy. As I say, quite fancied that as a I don't know, a game for this week because, as I say, went for a burger after our Comic-Con thing. It was really nice, to be honest with you. It was nice to go out and have a little explore and do that. It's been a while, to be honest with you, especially with all the sort of back troubles that I've had along the way. It was nice to actually experience being outside and not being lying down or whatever else I was doing with it. So it was quite nice to experience that again. I got to admit. Right, Mr. Wimpy, I like this one. I like the fact that this game exists. I like the fact that this company still exists, but only in small places. But I'm still not going to go to the one that's closest to me because I feel I may get stabbed. But other than that, it's fine. But only because of the nature of where it is at. But Wimpy, I always like the story of Wimpy, or the thing that goes with Wimpy. Wimpy was actually a franchise from, I think it's the South African. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure they're South African, which is really weird because they've got a beefeater as their main guy. But anyway, so they're South African, and they basically, there was a franchise company that had most of the Wimpy stores in the UK, and they got a better deal basically from Burger King. So a lot of Wimpys are now Burger Kings because they got a better franchise deal. So although they are still Wimpys in this country, there are better deals with it. It's a very bizarre thing though, because the reason for moving to the Burger King was that fast food element of it. Wimpy was table service still. And obviously your Burger Kings weren't or aren't still But, of course, your McDonald's of the world have now returned to table service, which is... Well, there never were table service, which is really, really weird, because that wasn't the ethos of the idea of fast food. Fast food was you buy it, and 2 minutes later it appears in your hand, which it doesn't in the UK, but if it did, that's the nature of the beast. So Mr. Wimpy, or Wimpy as it was, really still has, I think now actually has a better place within the marketplace than, I suppose, Burger King. I've not been to one in years, though. I definitely want to find one that's close by. Next time I'm going on holiday, I'm finding a Wimpy, and I'm going to a Wimpy. It's going to happen, but I have to go 100 miles one way or 100 miles another to find one, and there's not anything over across from me, unfortunately. So it's a bit of a nightmare, really. It's a good sort of 2 hour journey to each one just to eat at a Wimpy. So I have to find a good excuse to go to a Wimpy. I mean, I was genuinely going to go up into Scotland to find one. But the one I found was in a bowling alley, and I took a picture. I'd looked on Google Maps at it to see if I could see it, and it didn't have the outside, and I wanted the outside, and I was going to take the game with me and do some bits and pieces with it, just to say, oh yay, I'm at a Wimpy kind of thing, the silly things you do when you think about it. Because I actually do have a little bit of nostalgia for Wimpy. But it was like, I was like, doesn't have an outside, and then I looked around the streets and I went, yes, all the windows are bricked up and smashed, and as I say, it looked like I was going to get stabbed. So I thought, you know what? As much as I'd like to take the family to a Wimpy, and to be fair, that's not a good reason to drive to where I was going to go to, because it's an industrial town as well. Bugger all to see, realistically. So I thought, no, we're not going to go to a Wimpy there. That's not going to happen. We're not going to make that journey. So we'll see. So we'll go from there. I'm really looking forward though to the big box of goodies that I've got. So that's the one I'm really looking forward to. Let's press keyboard. What's my up and down? Where's my keys? Oh, I found a key. And oh god, I found a key but then got zapped. That's left and right. What's up and down? There's up and there's down. I've got it. Okay, so this is a really bizarre thing, because you've got this first section of the game, and those are holes. If you fall in the hole, you die. But the holes are obviously moving, and then you've got this bug thing, and I think it's got a name. I think it's like called Gerald or something like it. Gerald the bug. But basically, Gerald there steals the food back again. This is a really terrible kitchen, by the way, that has bugs and holes all over it. And then you have to go get the bits, and then get back before Gerald grabs it off you, and then you put the cheese and the buns. I don't know whether that was a cheese or a bun. But whatever it was, you've got to do this bit before you can do anything. That's definitely a bun. In my mind, that looks like a bun. Get away from me, Gerald. I'm calling him Gerald. He might not be called Gerald. He might be called Frank. Frank the... You can get off me. Get off. Right, okay. So he comes and steals the blooming things off you. Really annoyingly. Once you get out this bit, it's not too bad. But this is kind of I think their way of avoiding any lawsuits, because effectively, once you get into the main game, it's blooming burger time. So yeah, it strange game in that sense. Oh God, come on, stay away from him, sugar, you little critter of doom. So yeah, once you, we can get you over here. Stay there, Gerald. Stay. Whatever you're doing, go away. There we go. No, the blooming hole got me. Damn you. Right, okay. This stupid game. Thankfully, he doesn't kill you, but the holes do, which is the problem. Looks really nice. I hate to say this on the Commodore 64 version, because they get all the colours right in the not bright colours, obviously. The old pastel palette gets involved, but yeah, you it's not a bad little version of it. There we go. So we get out of here, and then we get to play Burger Time, which is really cool, because that's the coolest part of the game. And it's not a bad version of Burger Time either. It even has the killing the things by doing that. So you run over the top of the burgers, they all fall down, and I really like this one. What's the button for? That's it. Found it. Too late. You've got like a pepper thing as well that you can use on them. That freezes them, and that thing got me. Oh, and there's the crazy sausage that's there. I mean, literally, it's such a rip off. It's unbelievable. It's such a rip off, and it's so unashamed about it as well. It's like literally these are the days. But we've discussed this before. It's about licensing at the end of the day. Who was going to come after them? That was the thing. Who was coming after them for this? Nobody was coming after them for this. Nobody was gonna get involved from Data East and come over and say, right, Ocean, you owe us lots of money for copying our product. It's just about the change in the laws. Globalization has made a big difference on licensing your products. I do like this. Come on, follow me. They're all following me now. Let's go down here. How's the weather by you at the moment? It's absolutely throwing it down where I am. I can hear it on my behind me. It's just chucking it down on all over the place. I do think Burger Time's a good game. I do like this version of it. Actually, it plays really well. Oh, sugar! I should have hit it with the pepper. I mean, it's, as I say, it's so blatant and unashamedly a copy of the. I'm gonna have another go because I quite like this game. Unashamedly, a version of Burger Time or a copy from of the whole thing. I'm assuming, I don't know what that is. Do you think it's tomato or something like that, or mayonnaise or something? I don't know. We got cheese. I can tell that's a burger, but I don't know. You little bugger. Come on, Gerald, leave us alone. I don't come round your house bouncing all over your walls. Here we go. There we go. You damn you. You horrible creature. Alright, get this cheese now. Oh, that was nasty. Did you see that? He flew straight into the base itself and grabbed the cheese off me. The worst bit about the game, because it never makes you do it again. It only makes you do it the first time round. It's like once you've got enough food in the place, you're all good. You know, that's it. You're pretty much ready to go for the whole thing. So flying all around. But yeah, we've discussed this before. We discussed the world of copyright in the 80s just wasn't there, and your intellectual property was almost fair game. Nobody came after you. I think nowadays, obviously, if you copied Burger Time, Data East, it depends on. I guess if it's not for profit, they might not do it. But I think that Data East would probably come round your house and empty your wallet, which is, I think, fair comment. Oh, that bloody thing came out and got me there. You going to come down them stairs? Yes, of course you are. Let's go quickly while it's frozen. Oh, we might get away with it. Yes, we did. We made some burgers. I'm guessing it's relish or something like that. Because the pink stuff is there. So you've got the yellow for the... We got the burger. Oh, I don't know. I'm just speculating. Speculating on the burgers. I'm going to go right to the top. I'm going to right to the top, run past him. You can get zapped. I can't zap you. Why couldn't I zap you there? Oh, you horrible creature. That's not nice. Cup of tea. Don't remember a cup of tea in the original version of the game. Oh, I collected it. Ah, a cup of teas give you more pepper. So it's extremely useful. Because obviously the pepper allows me to prevent the creatures from attacking me. That's no good though, I got caught. That was alright actually though, quite a good game. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye now.